What is going on, people? In this video, I'm joined by Hex, PulseChain and crypto veteran, and a community fan favorite. And we're going to find out first why he was booted off Twitter, what's going on with his main account, what's his take on the current markets, and what the V4 testnet means for the PulseChain Mainnet. So with no further ado, Mr. Randy Hilarski.
What's up, everybody? Good to see you, Matt.
Good to see you, Randy. It's been too long. How's things down in Panama?
It's going good. Dealing with ailing health of my father-in-law, and so we've had a tough time over since we got back from Europe. We've been dealing with this because it happened like a week after we left the UK last summer. So we've been dealing with that, but loving life. Me. I did so well in crypto that we just spend our time with our son, raising our son, homeschooling, going to his sporting things, and hanging out with other Hexicans at least 2 or 3 times a week. That's all we do. And there's so many Hexicans here now. It's just like turning into a small community.
Oh, really? Panama's becoming a Hex hub.
Yeah, we're all gray hairs, man. We're all older guys, and we've all lived our lives and just enjoying the last 30% that we have left.
Oh man, I mean, obviously it's all subjective, but you're living the dream. You're living in the tropics. You've got a beautiful family. You've done well in crypto. You're homeschooling him, so you're not allowing the powers that be to hypnotize him with the groupthink culture. Yep. I mean, I think a lot of people on this stream can resonate. I think that's what most people are going for.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you got a 5-year-old that's already got multiplication and stuff, and he's reading and all this thing. And I was a kindergartner at 5, and I didn't know shit. This kid is so far ahead of where I was, and I was considered gifted. I was in gifted school all through school, and he just puts me to shame. And I think my wife, she's doing such a great job. She really, the 2 hours a day. That's all he gets. 2 hours a day. That's all he needs. You get 2 hours of focused energy into learning, and your kid will be a freaking genius. Yeah, I swear to God.
2 hours of deep work. Because I met you guys last year when you were in London, and found out Maximus was homeschooled, and he's more sociable, more energetic than any kid I meet. Obviously, a lot of the kids, they become like automatons, right? They're just like, hi, their parents like, say hi, and Maximus is running around life and soul with a party.
You should see him today. We're walking down via Argentina to go to the park, and he's saluting everybody. It's like, buenos dias. He's got this new thing where he salutes everybody because he's playing Roblox, and the ship captain's always saluting. So he's he's saluting everybody. I'm cracking up.
Amazing, man. The social skills at 5 years old. Imagine at 15 or 25.
Man, I'm going to teach him, man. I was a really good salesman, so I'll teach him, because sales 101 is, if you can do sales, you can do anything.
I heard you mention this book before. One of my favorites, Robert Greene's my favorite author, and his books, The 48 Laws of Power. I mean, such a classic.
It's powerful. It can be used for good or evil, though. That book is definitely a book that can go either way.
Definitely. I think for most people, like Robert Greene says, the real sharks in the world don't need it, right? That's in their DNA. But you can read this book and find out how human nature really works and see when you're being manipulated or taken advantage of.
Yep. I always like the one, beware of free gifts.
Yes. People want something down the line. Never take the free lunch. So anyway, what's going on with your main Twitter account? Why have you been banned?
They don't tell you. They just send me I tried to log in one day, and it said permanently suspended. Okay, permanently suspended for what? So, this is the second time I've been permanently suspended. The first one was during the election cycle in the US, when Biden and Trump were having a debate, and I called them on Twitter. I called them idiots, right? I'm not picking either one of them. I don't like either. So I called them idiots, and they banned me. And I got my account back the day after Biden was inaugurated. So it was so political. It was such a political move. So I said, okay, fine. You guys do that. Let me make sure I get my whole hexagon in there. There we go. That's better. And they don't tell you anything. The only thing I thought was that there was a live stream I did on a Thursday night. I was playing casino, so it was casino night. And I clicked on the Game of Thrones game, and I had the Game of Thrones theme music, and I tried to get it muted really quick. So I did get a copyright violation, not a strike, but like a warning, I should say, on YouTube. And it was the day after that I was kicked off of Twitter. So I think it was a DCMI, something about copyright strike that I got on Twitter, and they took me down. And they haven't given it back. I don't even know if they're reviewing it. I send every 2 or 3 days, I send them a little note. Please, could I have my account back? Please, Massa. Please, Massa.
Please,
Please, Massa.
I thought it was meant to be getting better with Elon taking over, but obviously not. So we'll have to see.
But hey, I have a backup account. They used to be VIP Panama Tours because we own VIP Panama Tours here in Panama. And I had grown that account since 2014. So it still had about 10,500 followers. I just used it to post news and basic crypto stuff and retweet my other account. Well, now it's my main account, or at least a backup for now.
Well, it's good to have a backup. And I think I've heard you talk about backing up content on places like Rumble and other places, because you just never know, right? We think, oh no, we're fine. And you might say the wrong thing, and then the overlords want to take you down. So
they will take you down in a second. How many times has Richard Hart had his YouTube taken out? I think 3 since I've known him.
Did you hear when Andrew Tate got taken down? It was off every platform within like 24 hours, which is just nuts.
Somebody made a call.
Yes, someone made a call. So where are you with the markets right now? Are we looking bullish? Are we looking bearish? What's your take on everything?
We are bullish until the solar eclipse.
I heard you say this. Yeah. How come?
So that's what I'm talking about tonight. April 20th is the solar eclipse. And I'm screw TA, man. I'm checking out a TA. TA is good for a daily check-in, those kind of things, where the markets are going. But the larger cycles are more important to me. That's why I use the Aurochs indicator. The Aurochs indicator is a long time frame indicator. And if you want to trade Bitcoin or Ethereum, that's the way to do it. It was on the money this year. It's always on the money when it says to buy. It told us to get into Hex in November 1st. It also told us to get into Ethereum and Bitcoin on November 1st. But the thing that Aurochs indicator does not know is news. It doesn't know the news cycle. So it did not know that FTX was about to go under. So that green Aurochs indicator disappeared in November and December. November, and reappeared on December 1st, 4 weeks later. So what happens with the Aurochs indicator? There's about 100 different things on the checklist. In order to meet either a red Aurochs indicator going up or down, or a green Aurochs indicator going up, you have to meet 100 different things. And if all are checked off, you're going up, or the other way. If they all signal down, we're going down. So when people say, well, Randy, sometimes the indicator disappears. Yeah, because maybe one thing out of the 90 or 100 just changed, and it'll swap out, go back to nothing. But there's still a 99% chance that we're still going to go up or down. So I don't worry when the Aurochs indicator disappears for a short while. It usually comes right back within a couple of days. And on monthly indicators, obviously it's a little bit different because that's a long time frame. I would only use it on the daily, weekly, or monthly. That's the maximum. On maximum, I would use it. Hey, Corey, good to see you, sir. And Crypto.
Yeah, you put me onto the Aurochs indicator, and I was always a bit wary, right? Because I'm like, how good can it be? But I've checked it sporadically, and it's pretty much on the money every time.
On the money, especially the monthly. The longer the time frame, the better. That's how I use it. And I've had people like, oh, Randy, the Aurochs indicator doesn't work. I said, what are you using it on? Well, I'm using it on the hourly. You don't even read it says it's got instructions right on the indicator. It tells you how to use it. There's actually whole pages on their website. It tells you how to use the Aurochs indicator. And I'm like, people, they don't think. This is pretty simple, man.
It can't get any easier than that, a red or a green signal, right?
Yeah, exactly. And we do have, so I am bullish until the 20th, but I will still follow the Aurochs indicator. If it tells me we're going to still keep going, if it's still green for Bitcoin and Ethereum going into May, then I still trust it that we're going up. When the red shows up, then it's time to sell. Simple. It's the most simple indicator out there. I don't understand why more people aren't using it. Seriously. I love the Aurochs guys. They hired me first in 2017. I'm working with them not on and off, and they have the Aurochs wallet. And I've got some good news for everybody. I got a message from Yorgi today, the CEO, and he asked me what I thought about them giving 100% support to PulseChain. And I said, "Ooh, ain't that dandy?"
Amazing.
So I wrote him back. I said, "Dude, if you do this, I will hug you guys. I will do anything you guys ask me to do, because the more support that we have for PulseChain, the better. And having a big company like them, that they're number 2 behind TradingView. TradingView is their main competitor, and now they have the Aurochs wallet, which is way better than the MetaMask wallet, and it has a referral program built into it, so you could earn fees up to 50% fees from everyone you refer forever. Imagine being one of these early people in Binance and having the Binance referral code. And you signed up 1,000 people or 2,000 people, and every single one of those people are doing $10,000 worth of transactions a month. You know how much money your freaking pocket would be padded with? And so I look at the Aurochs wallet as the same thing. So if you guys want one, it's underneath all my videos, the referral link is there. Go ahead and get it. I love it. These guys are great, and they've been some of the most honest people I've ever worked with in crypto.
So when you say they're going to provide full support for PulseChain, what does that look like?
They want to include the RPC in the wallet from day one. Other wallets won't have that.
Yeah, you have to add it manually, right?
Yeah, you usually have to add it manually. So they'll have it already built right in. Also, inside the wallet, all the tokens that we're going to have in PulseChain will show up automatically. You won't have to add the token addresses. So like right now, if you use the Aurochs wallet, it has Avalanche, it has Polygon, it has a couple of those. So any coin that you have in any of those blockchains is automatically going to show up in your wallet. And you're going to be able to do cross-chain swaps. And you're going to be able to do swaps without a fee. The fee is still taken out of the coin. So you have Hex, but you don't have any Ethereum in your wallet. Or gasless swaps, we call it. It still goes. It just takes some of your Hex rather than you having to have Ethereum in your wallet. That's one of my biggest headaches in crypto. And having to use EVMs is you always have to have some of the native coin that you're using on the blockchain. Like if you're on Avalanche, you have to have some Avalanche. If you're on Polygon, you have to have some Polygon. How freaking annoying is that? Aurochs has fixed it.
So it's like a cow swap where you can use the coin you're using, you get a percentage taken out of that.
Exactly.
Talking about cross-chain swaps, have you seen PortalX yet?
Heard about it today for the first time. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me? That sounds amazing.
Man, go and try it out. It literally makes jumping between, I think at the moment, over 40 blockchains like effortless. So yeah, I think this will be right up your alley for getting between places. The easier it is to get into PulseChain and any blockchain, right? Because without something like PortalX, you're looking at maybe 5 to up to maybe 7 or even more transactions to maybe get from Avalanche or BNB into PulseChain. So
I've been using Simple Swap for years, and Simple Swap, you have to do a bunch of do a couple things on a website, and then sometimes the transactions don't go through. It takes 6 hours, 8 hours to get your coins. I'm like, what the hell? Where are they? ETH POW needed 1,000 transactions or 1,000 block transactions or something for, what's it called? 1,000 confirmations before your money showed up, your coins showed up. And I'm like, that's crazy. And what you guys have built, or what the team has built, oh man, crypto's getting better and better. Crypto is so much better than it was when I got it in 2014.
Oh man, you've got stuff like PortalX Swap. You can pay for stuff in crypto. It's just, even in the last, it's innovating the whole time, but even in the last 24 months, I mean, what you can do with crypto. But here's the link here, portalxswap.io. Go and try it out. And you can even go between non-EVM chains and everything. So even
between like Bitcoin?
Yes.
What in the actual hell, man?
Even between Bitcoin, and it always gives you the cheapest route. Now you can select manual routes because it will show you, it will give you the cheapest route, and then you can hit a drop down menu box and it will show you different routes. But be safe in the knowledge, PortalX will always give you the cheapest route, and it's your keys. You're not handing over anything. This is just an aggregator. It's a DEX and a bridge aggregator. So think of it as a big yellow taxi. It will take you where you want to go. You put your the start chain and then the target chain, the start coin, the target coin, and it does the rest.
Yeah, what
So check
percentage
it out.
is, Franklin's got a good question. What percentage is the fee structure?
It depends on what you're doing. Obviously, you're going to need some of the native coin for the native chain you're using, and it will show you. It depends, but you hit the drop down menu and it will show you the fee structure. I think the minimum fee is $1. But yeah, I think just go there, try it out. You can obviously put in test transactions and not follow through with it, and you'll see it there. But hit that link there again, which is portalxswap.io, and it's an amazing tool to go between blockchains. But also, what do we really care about? Onboarding people to PulseChain, making it easier for people to jump from chain to chain rather than having to do 5, 6, 7 transactions. How many people are going to be like, sod that? I don't even know how to. I can barely send crypto to BNB from my, from my Binance account to my MetaMask. So yeah, it's going to make it a lot easier.
Are we going to be able to profit from like staking our Watt token with it? Is there any way that we make money?
Staking the Watt token generates yield from all the different dApps of PowerCity.
Okay.
So PowerCity's got a number of things going on, right? You've got Pixel Park, the Earn protocol, Portal X, the amplifier on the front end of Liquid Loans and of Earn, and taking your Watt token and staking that in the core of PowerCity, that's going to generate yield from all of the different dApps. And then obviously there's other ways to make yield from other dApps like the Earn protocol, like Pixel Park. So they're doing a lot of stuff, man. It's really exciting.
Yeah, that actually one of the reasons I'm gonna tell you, I was very nervous about PowerCity because I thought they were doing too much. I was a very early investor into PowerCity. I didn't invest much. It wasn't much at all. It's the lowest amount of anything I did for PulseChain projects. But I see now that it seems like they're doing well. They're going to do great things. So maybe I'll double it up, throw a little bit more money at it. It's still live. I know I said that I think they're accepting more sacrifice until actual launch of PulseChain. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's correct. So yeah, there's still time, but as we know, PulseChain could launch at any moment. So do be aware. LV, one of the men at the helm of PowerCity, said $1 between $1 and 0.1% of the trade. But yeah, it really is. You know what it's like, right? You got into crypto how long ago? Was it 2014?
2014, January. Yeah.
Yeah. How things have changed, right? From then, I mean, getting into Bitcoin or what's not, it's just making it so much more effortless. People are taking more crypto payments now. People are getting paid in crypto. It's exciting, man. And obviously PulseChain, I mean, it seems closer than ever. What's your stance on V4? Do you think this is the last one?
Well, V4 was necessary because we needed to update the payouts to the validators. And money drives everything. So the more validators we have, the better. And if they need to get paid something. So when PulseChain launches, the validators with the original V3 version, we're going to get paid tiny amount of money. And I think that the team decided, look, we need to amp that up a little bit and let them make some more. So cool, let's do it. Update. I needed a fork to do it. Cool. Here we are. Version 4 is coming. Yeah,
I think in the long run, obviously it's better, right? Because you want more participation, more people are going to become validators. That's more decentralization for the network. So, but of course, everyone's so when PulseChain that whenever something like this comes up, half of crypto Twitter is split, right? Half of them are like, okay, we trust you, Richard, and then the other half are like, come on. But mid-May, maybe it is mid-May 2023 instead of 2022.
Man, well, I got a taste the other day of what this is going to feel like. I got my first real airdrop, and that was eFiat. And that was nice, man. I haven't had a good one in a while, and that was juicy. So yeah. I was like, if this is what we're going to get, if this is what we can expect, I'm sticking to my guns and saying when PulseChain launches over the next year of PulseChain launching, and anybody who sacrificed for PulseChain or PulseX is probably going to get about 50K worth of airdrops. I'm sticking to my guns on that.
You said this before. Before we carry on, LV just made a great point. At the moment, there's no protocol fee to use Portal X. That will come later in about a month. but you can use Portal X and just pay the fees, the network fees, but there's no protocol fee at the moment. So definitely go and take advantage of that. But yeah, going back to what you were saying before, I think on our first ever stream, you were talking about the airdrops are going to be crazy, right? They're going to be coming in left, right, and center.
Crazy. It's going to be nuts. I was not expecting Fiat to come out and do what it did. It was a 10x from sacrifice rates on the moment it started. And then it dropped down to about, I think, a 6 or 7x. And then it shot up to about a 13, 14x, all within like 6 or 8 hours. It was like, what?
Welcome to crypto.
Airdrop. I did not sacrifice for Fiat. I got, just because I sacrificed for Famous and for Fiat. So I don't want to talk too much about a competitor, but that was freaking cool, man. You just get that taste. You're like, here we go. It's coming, boys. It's coming.
I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? Because with PulseChain and with Hex and what's not, a lot of the time, either just being a Hex holder or maybe you've sacrificed for something else. You find out you're, eligible for another sacrifice. And even in the bear market, that's been going on. But like you said, when the bull market returns, when PulseChain's live, it's going to be a full-time job, right? Accepting airdrops and then doing what you want with them, maybe swapping them, maybe selling them. But I think
I'll tell you guys, this is my plan. Every airdrop I get, I'm going to turn it into, if it's not a coin that can generate me more income, I will turn it into I should say token that will generate me more income. That could be Watt token. It could be Fame. It could be liquid loans. It could be any one of these tokens that'll generate me more. Icosa. That's what I want. Or get the granddaddy Hex. I'm here for Hex. PulseChain was built for Hex. I think that over the next couple of months after launching PulseChain, we're going to see Hex take a major dip, especially on eHex. I don't know what pHex is going to do because that's too speculative.
Not straight away. You think it's going to be a couple of months?
It's going to stay low. It's going to stay low for a while. It's going to take some time to recover because most of the attention is going to be on PulseChain. So unless we're truly in a bull market, which I doubt, I still think we're at right now we're in the suckers rally, and we will have another drop prior to the real takeoff, which is post the Bitcoin halving in May or April next year, 1 year from now.
So do you think we're going to see an 11K, 11 and pray?
No, I don't think we'll go that low, but we could retest the 15.5 bottom. That could be retested. Richard made a good point, and obviously the inflation has been out of control. So every month that we go along, there's more inflation that's still sloshing around. So it could mean that the price just is a little bit higher.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, the macro definitely affects everything. And I think I've talked about this before. A lot of the time in crypto, we just look at the crypto markets and Bitcoin and what's not, but everything's linked with everything, right?
No, I'm a macro guy, man. Everything that happens out there in the real world, you got to pay attention to it. Right now, though, there's not many safe havens. A good safe haven would be gold and silver. I'm a gold and silver guy. So a lot of people talk shit about gold and silver, but guess what? They're up. And they've been up all over the last 18 months. They just keep going up. And then you have crypto, which has done pretty well. This bear market has been the least painful bear market I've ever seen. It hasn't, maybe because I'm on Hexkin and I get yield from Hedron and Icosa and my Hex stakes and all that. It hasn't been very painful. Streamer, send me a message. Streamer, what are you doing?
That's funny though, isn't it? Because other people are talking about it's been the most brutal bear market. I guess it depends on what you're sitting in and how you're playing it.
Yeah. Get yield. Yield is the way to go. Now, crypto, for me, the narrative has changed from a coin for payments to a yield generating machine. My Icosa right now is generating me in USD value almost the same amount as my Hex stakes. And yes, I'm a shark in Icosa, and I'm a dolphin in Hex. But my Icosa is absolutely kicking ass. It's just like, what? How can this be? I just checked, and I looked at it. I said, in 13 months, the Icosa that I have staked right now will have doubled.
Wow.
I'm like, this is, I hope it keeps going at this rate, but obviously I'm talking about it right now. So maybe 10 more people will buy Icosa and the rate will go down a little bit, but hey, come on and come all. That just pushes the price up.
It's interesting what you just said before that, though, because I think that is the mindset that most people need to switch from using crypto as just a payment or maybe just a 2x to something that now I want yield, right? That's going kind of from the poor man's mindset to the rich man's mindset, right? How can I turn this into more and kind of get it working for me automatically?
Yep. How can I sleep and get paid? Yield is where it's at.
And that's why on PulseChain, you're looking for where you can get yield, right? From all these airdrops, whether if it's not a token that you can get yield from, you'll swap it into something that will give you yield while you sleep.
Yep. The one I'm most excited for is Fame. Because on Famous, it doesn't matter whether it's a bull market or a bear market, people are going to leverage. They can't help themselves. So if you're a lender on Famous, you're going to be able to make some decent money using the Famous platform. So that's GMX over on Arbitrum, which was the best performing, in my opinion, the best performing asset in crypto during this bear market was GMX. So I see it over on called Famous on PulseChain. I'm jumping in and I'm going to be all over it, paying attention to what's going on over there. But I will never trade with leverage. I will be a lender for the degenerates out there who want to trade with leverage.
Take stock, people. Randy's dropping the alpha on how to keep your ass in crypto and get yield. How are you prepping for the mainnet? Are you just, you got a dry powder? Because you said, I think I heard you sold Hex at 12 cents on your YouTube channel. You were talking about this. Are you just waiting for bargains to scoop up and then obviously turn that into yield?
Yeah. So if you were in my Patreon group, patreon.com/no permissions, I told my group, I was letting them know. I warned them like a month before. I said, Hex is going to start pushing up because testnet version 3 is coming very soon. And it did. It started going up and creeping up. But then Richard made it clear that he didn't want the traders to come in and take advantage. So all the liquid Hex that I had sold. I sold all of it. And I sold it at 12.2 cents. And I told everyone in my group, I told them right when I did it, because I'm in my Telegram group, I'm an open book. I told them part of my Patreon is the fact that I'll tell you the trades that I make. And that was the trade that I made. I took it all, or about 90% of it, and bought Icosa. And I had sold all my Icosa prior at about $1.06, and it was back down to, I bought between 60 and 70 cents, and it's right where it is right now, and staked all the Icosa. So that was my play. And boy, oh boy, it worked out great. It worked out great. So here we are.
So your strategy is normally obviously one using the Aurex indicator, but you're obviously listening to sentiment as well, and then blending those two.
Yeah, because there's some things the Aurex indicator doesn't know. The Aurex indicator didn't know that testnet version 3 was there, or coming. The indicators cannot. All it is taking the history of crypto and using indicators to say where we're going to do in the future. It doesn't. It's not AI, so it doesn't know what the news is saying. It can't read Twitter. So there will be in the future. There will be indicators coming soon that use AI to scrub the web and do all that. I'm sure there already is some that you can pay for, but I said, look, we're at 12.2 cents. I don't feel like there's much more energy to push it even higher. We did a 6x since January 1st. And the energy was, the momentum was already waning. I said, okay, I sense the momentum is waning, or people are as hyped up as they're going to be. It's time to get out. And I was right. And someone actually unsubscribed to my YouTube channel because they were so upset that I sold at 12.2 cents. I said, Randy's trading too much. He's not a true Hexagon. I never say sorry when I'm making money.
I love the way people, because obviously everyone sees the world differently. That's fine, right? Everyone's got their own subjective opinion, but they think that their model of the world is the model of the world. And if you don't adhere to it, you're wrong. I'm right, you're wrong. And it's like, Listen, man, everyone's in different stages of their life. Everyone should be able to do whatever they want. And if they want to sell Hex at a penny or sub penny, good for them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We hadn't seen Hex over 5 cents in months. I think going back like 6 months. So
In a long
it was
time.
nice to see that. And then we hit 12.2 cents. And I was like, I'm out of here. Not because I dislike Hex. It's just because I wanted to take some profits. And I felt kind of naked because I didn't have any Icosa left because I had sold all my Icosa when it hit over $1. Once again, the energy was peaking, and I'm like, okay, now let's sell all of our Icosa. And I didn't have any for about 3 months. I was like, I need to get these back. Well, I bought them back, but I bought a stack about 7 times bigger than what I had when I sold. So now I feel better. I've got my Icosa, my Hedron bags, and I've got my Hex bags. And now I'm just waiting for PulseChain to launch so I can have my POWERCITY, my liquid loans, my Mintra, the Fiat Famous, and we get going with all this stuff.
Man, full-time job managing your crypto. So staying with Hex for a minute, you think Hex on Ethereum is going to take a dip? What do you think is going to happen to Hex on PulseChain?
Well, Hex is going to take a dip on Ethereum, but Hex on Ethereum is still the Ferrari version of Hex. It's still going to be the premium version. So it'll be the place for the wealthier people to still play. Yeah, people that have large Hex stakes and they have large bags of Ethereum, they're not going to care about the prices. Like when I unstaked in 2021, it cost me $650 to do an unstake for an 18-month-old stake. It was great. Yeah, it was absolutely crazy. And I didn't care. I didn't care because the stake was so big. But P-Hex, I think everybody and their brother wants P-Hex. But on say the first 3 days or so the first 2 days is just ratio trading, but day 3 supposedly, or 2, we're supposed to have, or day 3, yeah, we're supposed to have the bridge. If the bridge happens, so those first 3 days are going to be all about PulseChain. All the attention is going to be on PulseChain, and I have no problem with that. So go get your PulseChain, but there's going to be people that aren't paying attention.
But are you gonna ratio trade? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna are you gonna wait until the bridge?
Yeah. I'm a shark when it comes to ratio trading. I love it. It's one of my favorite things in crypto to do. If I see, and I've told this to my group many times, if I see a 30-to-1 ratio, and it's possible this doesn't happen, but if 30 PulseChain could buy me 1 P-Hex, I will sell every single PulseChain I have, except for just a few, just to continue doing transactions to buy P-Hex. Why do I say that? I say that because PulseChain was built to support Hex.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, a lot of people have forgotten, right? But obviously in 2021, it was just like you talked about, it got obscene with the gas fees. Richard was like, I'm fed up with this. Let's fork it. And obviously now it's transformed into, it's going to be this amazing layer 1, but the original concept was to protect hexagons.
Yes.
So I think everyone forgets they're going to get their copy. If you've got liquid or staked hex, you're going to get that copy. And if there's, like Randy said, personally, I think ratio trading can be very risky, and most people would probably lose their ass doing it. But like you said, if you see a ratio which is way out of whack and you think that you can profit from that, then why not?
Absolutely. If I could pick up, maybe 1 million P-Hex or 2 million P-Hex, replace all the hex that I've ever sold, because I sold probably about 600,000 hex over the course since 2021. And that's not a ton. Okay, guys, that's not a ton, because remember at one time, 600,000 hex cost me just under $1,000. So it wasn't a lot of money back in 2019, 2020, early 2020. So that really, people are like, Randy sold 600,000 hex. Man, guys, that's not much compared to what that USD value. Yeah, sure, it's a lot of money now, but not back then.
So I guess you're excited from the get-go on PulseChain, right? Just so you can pick up even ratio trading, because like you've been around for a while, you know what to look for. You're not just hitting buy and sell buttons for the fun of it.
No, I'm not here to get wrecked. And I love the fact that Richard had the team add commas. But the only problem with adding commas is now Randy is not going to be able to take advantage of it, and people aren't going to wreck themselves as much.
Or because people are going to be confused before, right? If there was no commas.
Yeah, because someone's going to have a couple beers in them, and they're going to be like, sell, sell, sell. But they forgot they got an extra zero there, so they sold it for 10x cheaper than what they thought.
Yeah. So what's your advice for those who are about to experience their first layer 1 launch?
It's exciting, man. Geez. I was there at the launch. It's not a layer 1, but Bitcoin Cash. When Bitcoin Cash launched, that was a super, super exciting day. It was my best trading day in history. I killed it. And at the end of the day, or not even the end of the day, just like after about 5 hours, I told my wife, hey, you want to go shopping? Because I just slaughtered it, man. And this will be my coins that I participated in. It's probably my 41st or 42nd launch. And every single one of them were just adrenaline rushes with massive amounts of dopamine hits. It is the most exciting thing we could do in crypto. Another one that launched recently was Icosa. That happened in September. And I was buying up Icosa on day one and staking it. And I remember my coins, they had some massive rewards the following day. So it actually was beneficial. I was paying $1.80 per Icosa on day one, and I made all that money back by day 3. It was,
wow.
It was just bonkers. So I think that we're going to have a similar situation in PulseChain, but this time the immense amount of things happening is going to be overwhelming. So I'm going to tell most of you guys, and we're going to use Pareto's law here. 80% of you should not even open your wallets. The only thing I want you to do is go get a new Trezor, okay, a new Trezor or a new Ledger or whatever you use for a hardware wallet. Get a new one. See, this one's brand new, ready for PulseChain launch. The second your new coins come in, send them to the new wallet. Get them out of your PulseChain, your PulseX wallets. Why? Because those wallets will be forever watched. Those wallets are where you're going to get all of your airdrops. So be very wary and be very careful and prepare for launch. I don't know how to say it any stronger, that you don't want your wallets to be constantly looked at, especially if you have a decent amount of PulseChain in it.
I think a lot of people who've been in crypto for a while have that same mindset. I definitely do, that I've got a new Trezor, and as soon as that PulseChain and PulseX hits that wallet, boom, it's getting bounced straight out into a Trezor with, yeah, exactly. And it's also going to be, on the Trezor, you can have the secret passcode as well, right? So even if someone gets your seed phrase.
Yes. Just don't die.
Just don't die. But if you want to make it super secure, you can have, it's like a 25th
seed phrase.
Yeah. So even if they find your written down or whatever, your metal engraved stuff, unless they know the passcode as well to the secret account. So yeah.
Or tattoo it in between one of your toes, 2 toes or something. So you don't forget it.
Yeah. You got to be careful with security, because sometimes you can make it too secure, right? Like you hide something or you encrypt. I've done it before as well. Writing stuff down in encryption, which I think I'm going to remember. And then I go back and I'm like, what does that mean again?
What did I do?
Yeah.
What funky thing happened to me recently? I had a piece of paper where I held my LastPass master password. And LastPass they had 2 hacks with their database. I think about in the last year, they've had 2 hacks. So I was already preparing to get rid of LastPass and move to a different provider. And this paper, I don't know where it went. It disappeared. And I had it on my computer. My LastPass was still open. So one day I go to my computer, my LastPass is logged out, and I'm like, oh, where's the paper? I looked for 2 hours, couldn't find the paper. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to try something, because I was freaking out, man, because I have all my websites that I use. I had turned my computer off, turned it back on, and my LastPass came back on. And I went in, and because I didn't have my master password, I couldn't send the CSV file to my email in order to load it back to another password manager. So I had to go in manually and transcribe them over. And it took me like 3 days, because there was like 150 addresses with passwords in there. So yeah, be careful, guys. Security is important, but sometimes we over security to make a mess.
It's a fine line. Don't over security yourself where you've written stuff in code, or you've given it to someone to safekeep or something like that, right? You've hidden it in so many different places. So what do? Do you engrave your seed phrases? Do you split them up? Like,
No. Just keep them in the safe.
Okay.
Just keep them safe,
Yeah.
man. That's all you gotta do. If somebody really wants, if somebody really wants your passwords, they're holding a gun to my head, or it's just money, man. One thing I want to tell people is that I've lost money. I've lost everything multiple times in my life, and every time I've gotten it back. Every time. Now, I wasn't rich, but I always recovered pretty quick. So once you know how to do things, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, it's like when they say, I've heard that before, like if you took, people say, well, it's the mindset, isn't it? It's the skills and the learnings that you've acquired over the years and decades. And people like Elon Musk or Bezos or whatever can lose all their money, but within 5 years they'd be, multi-millionaires again, because they've learned those skills. You can't take those away from them. So I guess that's what happened with you, right?
Yeah. You just learn, and then you have the right people in your life. Right? You have the crew that you can go talk to, and if you lose everything, they'll support you. And that's how I feel it would be for me. I think Putting Guru says, does 100% support mean airdrop? If he's talking about Aurochs, no, I don't think it's an airdrop, buddy. I think they'll just support PulseChain, all the coins and things like that.
What do you think about this one, Randy? Can PulseChain become the cream of the crop in terms of blockchain?
Number one, I think Ethereum is going to be number one for the foreseeable future, probably for the next 5 to 6 years. And then it's possible, once PulseChain fees start creeping up and it gets really exciting to be a full PulseChain validator. Imagine the fees do 100x, just like they did with Ethereum. And you're a PulseChain validator, then you're pulling down a shit ton of money every day just because you're a validator. And that's when it'll get really exciting for the techies out there. But for all of us that are, every meme coin out there is probably going to be coming to PulseChain. So we're going to be, sorry to say it, but we're going to be a true shitcoin fest over on PulseChain. Everything's going to be coming over there, but I don't care. Why? Because it's going to generate fees for PulseX. And I have a very large amount of PulseX, and I'm very excited about that. When I say very large amount, I don't mean what these. I know people that sacrificed $500,000 for PulseX, but big for me. It took balls for me to do what I did. I know some people.
Well, you didn't go too big into PulseChain, right? You told me before, because you thought it was launching, within weeks.
I thought it was coming right around the corner and never did.
So yeah, because we thought, well, from the get-go, what was Richard saying? A couple of months in the summer of 2021?
Yeah. So I thought it was going to do just like every other crypto does. It was going to, we were going to do an ICO where we did the money and then it launches maybe 4 to 6 weeks later. The big spike, and then it comes back down, and then Randy was going to buy back when it came back down. Yeah, Randy's plan did not work out.
That's life, right? I mean, obviously, a lot of the time things don't go to plan. But like you were saying, definitely PulseChain is going to be a shitcoin fest at the beginning. Look at BSC, right?
Beginning. Everyone's coming to us. Believe me. I think B Roots, as much as people want to hate him, he's even made the comment, look, PulseChain is going to be where every project goes that's going to be a meme coin. Everyone's going to come to PulseChain.
When you've got gas that's cheap, right? Like BSC was a rug factory, right? For so long, because it was so cheap. And now obviously it's got a bit more expensive, but still, compared to Ethereum, which was just stupid, you need a cheap network to do that kind of stuff. And obviously, what are we looking at? We're looking at fractions of a penny for transactions. So
someone asked about how many coins for a validator. 32 million. Crypto Kool-Aid nailed it.
32 million. Yeah. 32 mil to be a validator. So this is not something you're interested in, Randy?
I don't have that many, but I didn't sacrifice that much. But what I do want to do is I want to get together with a bunch of my Hexicans in Panama, and we can launch our own validator node, because there's some of these guys did a shit ton of money into PulseChain, and
Nice.
they were already talking about being validators. And I'll be the face of it, and they just supply the coins and help me get the racks going at the data center to start doing it.
Sure. Let me answer this quickly. What's the use case for the Watt token? The Watt token, it can be staked in the core, which is the core of the PowerCity, and then you get yield from all the different dApps. Go to the website and check it out. Going back to your Panama Hex crew, did they move there because of you, or have you turned other crypto guys into hexagons who are?
They actually came here, most of them, because of me. Hey guys, because I'll tell you something. People like community is super important, and you want to be around people that are into something that you're into. And that's what's important about the community. And the fact that we could talk about money to each other and know things about other people that oh man, some of the stuff that we talk about when it comes to money, I would never in my life think that we talk about these kind of things. But ever since I became a little bit wealthier and hanging out with wealthy people, guess what they do? They talk about money all day. That's all we do. And it's so much fun. You're like, they've got these dreams and aspirations and things like this. It's just, it's wonderful, man. I love it. There's no small talk. There's no, hey, how's the weather today? How's grandma? No, there's none of that shit. Like, what's Hex doing today? When's PulseChain launched so I could buy my 80-foot yacht? Dude, I don't know.
Like, you need that, man. You need that because obviously to a lot of people, you look crazy. You're obsessed with Hex or PulseChain or crypto, and you speak to a normal person and they're like, I've kind of heard of Bitcoin. I don't understand it. And you're like, okay, how long can this go on for? And I think it's great that you've got a crew down there. One thing I've realized now, like I keep like hitting these goals in my life, and it's like I'm working hard and doing all this stuff, but social connection is so important, right?
Oh yeah.
And to have good family, good friends around you, that's what people hear rich and they always think money, and money is a part of it. But being rich is having good social connections, good health, good location freedom, time freedom, like you have. You got the rich life, Randy.
Yeah, it's longevity. It's all part of longevity. And now I'm starting to take my health serious. I got my gym membership, going to the gym, working out.
Nice.
I was a fat boy instructor in the Navy. So when I was the guy who you came to, I PT'd you if you're overweight. And now I'm the guy that's overweight. So I got to PT myself.
Well, when you focus on another area of life and something kind of like crumbles, so it's good to get it all back. I've seen you've been doing quite a few fasts before.
Yeah, I fast every day. I do 18-hour fast every day.
Fantastic.
Sometimes I do OMAD once in a while. Sometimes, usually on Mondays, I skip and don't eat for 36 hours straight. I like to mix it up. I want to keep my body guessing, and it's definitely I healed my kidneys 100%. My kidneys were down to 60% functionality about 2 years ago when I was in Mexico. I was in Acapulco and Mazatlan, and I had a couple kidney stones, and they were down to about 60%. Well, I went and got tested about 6 months ago, and they're back to 100%. And the doctor was like, "How did you do that?" I said, "Well, let me tell you something." And I just went through all the supplements I was taking and telling him I was fasting and doing all these things. He goes, "This is amazing, Randy." He goes, "I'm going to tell my other patients to take burdock root and fast and do all these things." And it worked great because as a nurse, I'm going to tell you right now, most doctors, when you come in and you're sick, they're just giving you something to take the pain away. They're not giving you something to heal you. So it's all about Astro 369. It's all about longevity, guys. I want to be here I had a child later in life. I'm 48, gonna be 49 soon. My son's 5, so he'll be around until, probably living with us for a long time. And I want to be there through his 30s and 40s. I would like to be, at least.
So health is wealth, man. Like, it really is the foundation. And you could be a billionaire and you could have all the material trappings, but if you're waking up in pain and you can't spend time, you've got a beautiful family.
Yeah.
And,
it's habit, man. It's hard to change habits. But someone said to me, "Oh, Randy, you should go to the gym 4 days a week. Don't do 7." I said, "Fuck that, man." When I was in the Navy, we got up every morning and it became a habit. And so for me, it's the same thing now. I said, I'm just going to go to the gym every day. I walk downstairs from my building. All right, I take the elevator down to the first floor. I take a left. 2 minutes away is the gym. So I have no excuse. Who cares? Whether it be a 30-minute workout on an elliptical or me lifting, it's still getting up and making that habit every morning and then coming back home and starting my day.
I've heard people call it fitness hygiene. It's like brushing your teeth. And for me, it's the same thing. I have to do something every day. I lift weights 4 days a week, but I have to hit the bag or run or just do some skipping and shadow boxing just to get a sweat on. It makes me feel better, fires off the dopamine, the serotonin.
Yep.
I feel like I've earned,
I get some sun too.
Yeah, get some vitamin D. And yeah, especially if you're living in somewhere that doesn't have much, like you're lucky, right? You're living somewhere.
So are you in Thailand?
I am. I'm in Southeast Asia. So I'm in Thailand at the moment, and it's got, you know, we're kind of on the same, I think, longitude or latitude or whatever.
Same.
So lucky, but yeah, you need to get all these things going together, and mental and physical are they're so closely tied that I can see the days I don't work out or the days I don't eat healthy. I can see my mood is up, my energy's all over the place. Like you, I do between a 16 to 18 hour fast every day, and then I eat two bigger meals, and it's just so much easier. You're productive in the morning. So for me, it's a black coffee and it's work, and then I'll have lunch a bit later on and go to the gym. But yeah, man, it's good that you're getting on it. I kind of envy you guys that you know, we're in the military from a young age, because you have that discipline and you've seen the world from a young age. I think you have a closer view of reality than a lot more people do, right? Because you have the discipline, you've traveled the world, you've learned. You're a nurse, right? In the Navy.
Yeah, I was a Navy nurse, EMT, that kind of thing. Yeah.
So you've learned skills that can, you know, transfer over into getting shit done, basically.
Yeah. You know, you fall over and you have a seizure in front of me, don't worry, I'll take care of it. You know, it's those kind of things, you know. I make fun of my wife, you know, because you got folks that her sister was, one time we were at her sister's house and her sister started choking. And I recognized her right away, right? I jumped up, I did the Heimlich, and there goes the hot dog wherever it was. And she was back to normal. And I said, imagine if I wasn't here, what would you have done? Just sat there and looked at her until she fell over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to give her a tough pat on the back, but it's not going to work.
Exactly. Yeah. Wild SJ, definitely check out the burdock root. It's amazing.
So burdock root, what is that? What are the main benefits of taking that?
It just helps dissolve the kidney stones. Also, every morning, have some fresh key lime juice. Take key limes, put it in some water, and that's the first thing you drink every morning, because the acidity of the key limes or lemons will work too, dissolve the kidney stones.
Yes, I take a lime. I also put a bit of glycine. You know what glycine is? It's an amino acid. Yeah. Has a tiny natural sweet taste, but it's not obviously sugar, and it's actually good for you. I do that. Lime water, squeeze half a lime into mineral water, and then put half a teaspoon of glycine, which is great.
That'll help flush your kidneys.
Exactly. And also, if you don't have limes, you can use apple cider vinegar, I think, as well.
Yes, that's the other thing. Apple cider vinegar with water. And the other one is beetroot juice. Beetroot juice is amazing for the kidneys. So there's there are 4 things there that just put them all in, do them all, and you'll be good to go.
And 3 things that supplements I've just incorporated. Do you know who Andrew Huberman is?
Absolutely, man. Yeah. NMN, resveratrol,
exactly.
NAC. Yeah, doing it all, man.
So I've just been getting my sleep. I've been getting to bed a lot earlier, getting up a lot earlier, and I'm using his 3 supplements, which are apigenin, magnesium glycinate, and inositol. They're all natural. You take those 30 to 60 minutes before bed. I do a bit of breath work, and man, I'm out like a light for 8 hours. Love it.
Yeah, I got my wife on the magnesium glycinate. You know, I got it from me originally, right? But magnesium it has like over 900 functions in your body. Yes. And most people take the magnesium citrate, which is garbage, right?
It's garbage,
Get the magnesium glycinate and thank Matt and I later, because your dreams, your sleep will be so amazing.
The dreams. You go so deep. You go into different worlds. Like the dreams I'm having at the moment, I wake up, I'm like, I've traveled the universe and back, right? By the time you wake up. But yeah, it's the same thing, but it comes in 2 different names. It's either magnesium glycinate or biglycinate, but it's the same thing. Right. Take about 2 grams before bed. I put it in water. I also tip the capsules of the inositol and the apigenin into that. So the magnesium biglycinate and the apigenin, they decrease sleep latency, which means you fall asleep faster. And then the inositol or myo-inositol, it's the same thing. That helps you stay asleep. And if you wake up, which I normally wake up to go for a pee once in the night, it helps you get back to sleep straight away.
Yeah, it helps get rid of the cortisol. And
Yes.
cortisol is what makes you have to go pee in the middle of the night. So I got one more supplement I want to pass along to everybody. This is for anybody who got the juice because of what happened in 2020 and 2021. If you got injected with that shit, I'm sorry that you did it, but take nattokinase, Nattokinase. It's made from fermented soybeans. It was found out in Japan that this nattokinase breaks down the fibrogen caused by the clots. So you take nattokinase, it's going to break down the clots. If you know anybody that's having issues due to the juice that they got. So hope that one helps.
And apparently Crypto Coffee gave you a shout out for zeolite. What's that?
That's the other one. Zeolite takes heavy metals out of your body and you will dream amazing dreams.
Dude, I didn't know you were a walking encyclopedia on supplements. This has been great because we're talking about my two favorite things here, crypto and health and longevity.
My website, nopermissions.com, is almost ready to go. And I'm going to be making content like crazy about healthy living because I'm not just walking. I'm not just talking the talk. I am walking it, man. And I'm fixing my body, and I want to see other people fix theirs and give up on the negative externalities in our lives and just improve it. And, Matt, I congratulations. I know how hard you work out and you improving your lifestyle and those kind of things. And congratulations on leaving the UK and moving to where you wanted to. I know you've wanted to do this for a long time, but I do got to get going in a few minutes. My life.
No worries, man. Well, listen, like I said, we're going to wrap it up anyway. It's been nearly an hour. I've been really enjoyed this. Tell the people where they can find you on social media and all that jazz.
Sure. This is right here is my Patreon. It's growing great. We've got 147 people now. I've got 2 tiers. I've got the $250 a month tier if you want to just call me pretty much whenever you want. And then I have the $20 tier, which is where most people are. And I have a special Telegram group for that. And we have a weekly strategy call every Thursday. This week it's at noon Central. Next week will be 8 p.m. Central. So that way we could help out the Aussies and keep our European friends. Obviously you're in Thailand, so you'll be able to do the 8 p.m. one. Yeah. But yeah, it's been great, man. And I love it. I cannot believe I did not figure out Patreon earlier. It is so powerful. I should have been doing this years ago.
Oh, good stuff, man. Well, listen, you have to come back on. I really appreciate you, man. I've enjoyed this, and take care, and we'll see you soon.
All right. Hey, come on over to my channel, guys. I'm about to rip it over there.
Okay.
Thanks, Matt.
Cheers, Randy. Take it easy. Randy Hilarski, definitely go and check out his YouTube channel, his content. I do love his musings on crypto, PulseChain, Hex, and all that jazz. And guys, if you like content like this, do hit that subscribe button and that bell button so you're notified every time we drop new content on the channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.